Good afternoon and welcome to Milestone Mondays. Today we have Yami Swearingen. Say hi, Shami. We are.
Hello.
We talked to. We call her Shami, and she is actually my sister-in-law. She was married to my brother Steve, and she's got some pretty big milestones in her lifetime. And I was wanting to talk with her today for her to share her story. She actually runs two home-based businesses, and she was originally from El Salvador. So I'm going to turn this over to Shami for a minute and let her explain to you what all she does and how she got there. So Shami, what are your two businesses and how did you get to achieve that milestone?
Hello, ladies. Again, my name is Shami, and I started, first of all, Spanish classes for kids with a 4. And after I had my first child, somebody asked me to teach them Spanish. And I said, well, let me see. I have a little one. So then I started thinking about it and praying. And I'm like, okay, this is a way to bless different women and anyone that wants to learn Spanish. And also a way to teach my kids how to speak Spanish. So I started looking into business licenses and how to run a business. I did a lot of research. I tell you, it's kind of scary because I hate dealing with paperwork and all the rules and laws. I just like to do things my own way, but things don't go that way. So I started promoting Spanish classes for kids. And it's been almost 20 years since I've been teaching Spanish, tutoring, interpreting for the school district. And I had a classroom at home, and I was teaching from home. And then later on, I moved it to the library. There was a study room there, so where my students would come, and that's how I started Spanish, teaching Spanish. So then later on, it took off, and I had tons of kids, and we got to play, sing, dance, learn a lot about the culture. I also did a summer camp on cooking, so that was a lot of fun. And later, after my husband passed away, I started my business with beautiful butterfly photography. So beautiful butterfly photography started with a few suggestions from friends that said, oh, you're such a great photographer, you should start your own business. And I said, well, let me think about it. And I started praying about it, and again, started from there. And it was a way to deal with my grief. So going and photographing people, it made me so happy. And I saw so much joy in families, and just, how women looked at themselves later on after they saw their photos. Sometimes we have such a low self-esteem, on the way we look. If we're a little bit overweight, if we're too thin, if we're old. So I think that with my photography, I bring something beautiful out of the ladies. And it's so much fun to look at the photos. And also I do senior photos, families, you name it. I'm there for you. So that's how I started both of my businesses. And it's not easy owning your own business, especially during this time. But you just have to keep working at it, promoting and putting yourself out there. And the ones that promote for you are your friends. I don't think like paying for an ad on Facebook helps us much, but word of mouth.
So what was your biggest challenge in overcoming to being a home-based entrepreneur, especially now that you've been a widow?
I think finances. Money was a big issue because everything requires money. Uh, but you just have to be creative in how you promote and do things. I didn't have a big budget. I started with kind of volunteering in different events. I started volunteering at women's meetup and taking photograph of the event. So people were there and they saw my work and they start asking me to photograph them. And so it was a lot of outreaching, talking to people, talking to parents, and I'm really involved also in my kids' lives and school. So that's how I promoted my Spanish, uh, you know, and also with the interpreting at the school district, I got to talk to other parents and they had heard something about Spanish classes from kids from another student or a parent, and they send them to me. So uh, it has to do a lot with relationships and just getting to know people, you know, being out there. I don't think that you need tons of money to start your business. You just need to be friendly, kind, loving, and most of all, pray. Pray that God gives you direction, uh, how to go about it. Because otherwise, if we don't have God's direction in our lives and in our business, then everything can go down and you get discouraged. So the thing is not to get discouraged. Find ways to motivate yourself and to find people to bless.
Well, how did you manage through this pandemic this year? And where do you think you're going to be going from now on?
So everything pretty much for my Spanish classes for kids have been online. So I tutor online. It's been a little tough because kids are tired of being online all day long. And so the libraries are closed. So right now we can't meet there. So the business has gone down a little bit. But I'm still tutoring online and I still get some business. It's not a lot, but we're making it. And then with my photography, there is so many regulations, rules. You have to stay 6 feet apart. And so I usually use my long lens to shoot, and I have to wear a mask, and it's kind of hard to shoot with a mask
Yeah,
because the families cannot see your face if you're smiling. I always tell them how to pose, or I fix their hair, like, move this way. We are not allowed to touch them.
yeah. So that does create a big problem for you to have to refigure your whole business then, doesn't it?
Yes, and also one thing, I don't know if you know, Hispanic people are really friendly and touchy, and they kind of get on your space sometimes. I learned not to get on your space, but we love to hug, and so that's a hard, thing for me. But I'm trying to give instructions by speaking to them, but sometimes they're like, "What are you saying?" Because I already have an accent, and having a mask on makes it worse.
So learn new sign language and
Yes, and being 6 feet apart, and so that makes it tough.
but it sounds like you're making it. And
I'm making it. I am making it, and it's funny because sometimes when I'm down, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make it. God reminds me, I've been faithful to you Even after your husband passed away, I was there and I'll be there for you. So I hold on to that promise. And he has been faithful. And my boys, I have two boys. They're one is 20 and the other one is 16. And I'm a blessed mom.
Yes, you have been totally blessed. I can attest to that. When did we meet? Probably 1996 when you got married.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. And it would be what, 24 years?
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
25. Correct?
24. I can do the math. Well, she actually met Steve, my brother, in the Dominican Republic, and she's originally from El Salvador. So we're going to get to know Shami just a little bit more on Wednesday, and she has an El Salvadorian recipe to share with us. And what's the name of the recipe again?
So, panes con pavos.
Okay, so
you're that, like a turkey sandwich, since you're going to have a lot of leftovers,
perfect.
for Thanksgiving. So I thought, well, I'll do the panes con pavos.
Perfect. So they can pull all their turkey out of the freezer and make sandwiches out of it. And you're going to teach us how to do that. So we'll look forward to that on Wednesday. And if you want to see more about Shami's businesses, she has Spanish classes for kids, and that's just on Facebook, right? Or do you still have a web page?
Facebook. It's on Facebook. And remember, it's with a 4, Spanish classes for kids. On Facebook and Instagram. And also you can find me on Facebook and Instagram on Beautiful Butterfly Photography. And there is a website for that one. So you can check out my work.
Yeah, and we're going to post that in the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/afternoon social. And I will post all of Shami's information there. And today, I guess we'll sign off for today, and we'll get to see Shami again on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to finding out how to make these sandwiches.
Yes. So feel free to ask any questions and on Wednesday.
Okay, we'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks again, Shami.
Adios.
Adios.